Thanks for visiting this world, Prime Animal World, where we learn more about animals. When discussing intelligence in the animal kingdom, one species stands out as the undisputed champion among land animals, the chimpanzee, pan troglodytes. These remarkable creatures are not only our closest living relatives, sharing about 98.7% of our DNA, but they also possess cognitive abilities that rival those of young human children. Chimpanzees are native to the forests and savannas of equatorial Africa, where they exhibit a fascinating array of behaviors that demonstrate advanced problem-solving, tool use, communication, and social complexity. This essay explores the intelligence of chimpanzees, focusing on their use of tools, problem-solving abilities, and the implications of their cognitive skills. Advanced tool use, a sign of intelligence. Chimpanzees are known for their sophisticated use of tools, a trait once thought to be exclusive to humans. Jane Goodall's groundbreaking research in the 1960s revealed that chimpanzees in Tanzania's Gombe Stream National Park use sticks to extract termites from mounds. This discovery fundamentally changed our understanding of animal intelligence and forced scientists to rethink the definition of what it means to be human. Chimpanzees have since been observed using a variety of tools in different contexts. For example, they use stones to crack open hard nuts, leaves as sponges to collect water, and sharpen sticks to hunt small animals. Each of these behaviors requires foresight, planning, and an understanding of cause and effect. The use of these tools is not instinctual, but learned, passed down from one generation to the next, reflecting a form of cultural transmission. In addition to physical tools, chimpanzees use natural objects in innovative ways to solve problems. For instance, in some populations, they fashion spears from branches to hunt bush babies hiding in tree hollows. This behavior is particularly noteworthy because it shows that chimpanzees can modify tools for specific tasks, a level of cognitive sophistication rarely seen in the animal kingdom. Problem-solving abilities. Chimpanzees possess impressive problem-solving skills that rival those of young children. In captivity, they have demonstrated the ability to solve complex puzzles, use symbols to communicate, and even understand basic arithmetic concepts. One famous example is the work of researcher Dr. Tetsuro Matsuzawa, who taught chimpanzees to recognize and sequence numbers on a computer screen. Some individuals perform better than humans in these tests, particularly in short-term memory tasks. In the wild, problem-solving is often a matter of survival. Chimpanzees must find creative solutions to obtain food, navigate social hierarchies, and protect themselves from predators. Observations of wild chimpanzees have documented instances of cooperative hunting, where individuals take on specific roles to capture prey, a behavior that requires planning and coordination. Chimpanzees are also capable of deception, an advanced cognitive skill that requires an understanding of the intentions of others. For example, subordinate chimpanzees have been observed hiding food from dominant individuals or giving false alarm calls to distract rivals and gain access to resources. Such behaviors suggest a level of self-awareness and theory of mind, the ability to understand that others have thoughts and feelings different from one's own. Communication and social complexity. Communication is another area where chimpanzees excel. While they do not have spoken language like humans, they use a complex system of vocalizations, facial expressions, and gestures to convey a wide range of emotions and intentions. Researchers have identified over 30 distinct vocalizations used for specific purposes, such as warning others of danger, signaling food availability, or coordinating group movements. In addition to vocal communication, chimpanzees use gestures that have clear meanings. For example, an outstretched hand may request food, while a soft touch on the back may signal reassurance. Recent studies suggest that some of these gestures may be universal among chimpanzee populations, much like certain human body language cues. Chimpanzee social structures are equally complex, characterized by hierarchical groups known as communities. Within these communities, individuals form alliances, engage in political maneuvering, and participate in reciprocal altruism, the exchange of favors over time. High-ranking males often rely on strategic alliances to maintain their status, while females use social bonds to protect their offspring and secure resources. Emotional intelligence and empathy. One of the most remarkable aspects of chimpanzee intelligence is their capacity for emotional understanding. They display a wide range of emotions, including joy, grief, anger, and empathy. When a member of their group dies, chimpanzees have been observed engaging in mourning behaviors, such as sitting quietly near the body or grooming the deceased individual. Mothers who lose their infants often carry the lifeless bodies for days or even weeks, a poignant display of grief. Chimpanzees are also capable of comforting one another. When a fight breaks out, bystanders often console the victim with hugs and gentle touches, much like humans do. This behavior, known as consolation, is a clear indication of empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Implications for conservation. The remarkable intelligence of chimpanzees underscores the importance of conserving their populations and habitats. Unfortunately, chimpanzees are listed as endangered due to habitat loss, poaching, and disease. Efforts to protect them must focus not only on preserving their natural habitats, but also on raising awareness of their cognitive abilities and intrinsic value. In sanctuaries and research facilities, chimpanzees are often used as ambassadors for their wild counterparts, helping to educate the public about the need for conservation. Programs that promote coexistence between humans and chimpanzees in areas where their habitats overlap have shown promise in reducing human-wildlife conflict. These are the most 10 astonishing facts about chimpanzees. 1. Chimpanzees share 98.7% of human DNA. Chimpanzees are our closest living relatives, sharing almost 99% of our DNA. This genetic similarity makes their anatomy, behavior, and cognitive abilities strikingly human-like. They experience similar diseases, such as malaria and the common cold, and have comparable lifespans of up to 50 years in the wild and 60 years in captivity. 2. Chimpanzees use advanced tools. Chimpanzees are tool-using experts. They have been observed crafting and using tools for hunting, eating, and self-care. For instance, termite fishing. They use sticks to extract termites from mounds. Nut cracking. They break open hard nuts using rocks as hammers and logs as anvils. Leaf sponges. They chew leaves into a wad to soak up drinking water. The ability to select and modify objects for specific purposes demonstrates their problem-solving capabilities. 3. They have complex social hierarchies. Chimpanzee communities have complex social structures with strict dominance hierarchies. Males compete for the alpha position, and the top-ranking male often secures his status through strategic alliances rather than just brute strength. Female chimpanzees have their own hierarchies, which often revolve around access to food and social support for raising offspring. 4. Chimpanzees can learn sign language. In captivity, some chimpanzees have been taught to communicate using American Sign Language, ASL. One famous example is Washoe, a chimpanzee who learned over 350 signs. She even taught some signs to her adopted son. These experiments showed that chimpanzees can form basic sentences and express emotions through signs. 5. They are cooperative hunters. Unlike many other primates, chimpanzees hunt in organized groups, often targeting small monkeys such as red colobus. During hunts, they take on specific roles. Some act as blockers, others chase the prey, and a designated catcher secures the target. This teamwork highlights their ability to plan and collaborate. 6. Chimpanzees display empathy and grief. Chimpanzees show strong emotional bonds with their family members and friends. When a group member dies, they mourn in ways similar to humans. They sit silently near the body, groom the deceased, and sometimes refuse to eat. Mothers who lose their infants may carry the body for days, visibly distressed. 7. They are capable of self-recognition. Chimpanzees can recognize themselves in mirrors, a sign of self-awareness. In the famous mirror test, chimpanzees were marked with paint on their faces. When shown a mirror, they touched the paint on their own faces rather than the reflection, proving that they understood the reflection was themselves. 8. Chimpanzees have different cultures. Chimpanzee behavior varies depending on the region and group, much like human cultures. Certain populations use tools that others don't. For example, Western African chimpanzees crack nuts with stones, while other populations don't. Eastern chimpanzees hunt with spears, a behavior rarely observed elsewhere. These cultural differences are learned and passed down from one generation to the next. 9. They use medicinal plants. Chimpanzees practice self-medication by consuming specific plants to treat illnesses. When suffering from intestinal parasites, they eat leaves with rough textures that help cleanse their digestive system. This behavior indicates an understanding of cause and effect in relation to health. 10. They communicate with a rich repertoire of sounds and gestures. Chimpanzees use more than 30 distinct vocalizations to communicate, including the lost boy of the Ugandan jungle. In 1988, a young boy named John Sebunya, believed to be about 3 years old, wandered into the forests of Uganda after a tragic incident at home. His father had murdered his mother in a violent rage, and the terrified boy fled into the wilderness, disappearing into the dense forest. Alone, starving, and helpless, John's chances of survival seemed grim. The forest was full of predators, and without food or protection, he likely would have died within days. But what happened next was nothing short of miraculous. Adopted by chimpanzees, a troop of wild chimpanzees encountered John in the forest. Instead of attacking him or ignoring him, they did something extraordinary. They accepted him into their group. Witnesses later reported that the chimpanzees appeared to take care of John as if he were one of their own. They brought him food, sharing fruits and nuts that they gathered. They protected him from other animals, forming a defensive circle around him. They taught him how to survive, showing him how to climb trees, forage for food, and drink from streams. For several years, John lived among the chimpanzees, adopting their behaviors. He became adept at climbing trees, moving on all fours, and making vocalizations similar to the chimps. He lost most of his human language abilities and communicated using grunts and hand signals, much like his adoptive family. Discovery and rescue. In 1991, villagers from a nearby community spotted the wild boy while searching for firewood. At first, they thought he was an animal because of his movements and behavior. When they realized he was human, they informed the local authorities. A rescue team arrived and captured John, but the chimpanzees fiercely resisted, attempting to protect him. One large male even charged at the rescuers, showing the deep bond between John and his adoptive family. Eventually, John was taken back to the village. The aftermath. Back in the human world, John struggled to adapt. He was placed in an orphanage where he had to relearn how to speak, walk upright, and interact with people. His body bore the marks of life in the wild. His skin was scarred, and he had developed calloused hands and feet from climbing trees. Initially, he was fearful of humans and often preferred to stay alone. With time and care, John gradually adapted to human life. He regained some of his language skills and became more comfortable around people. Later, he was adopted by a family and even became a minor celebrity due to his incredible story. John's new life. John Sebunya grew up to live a relatively normal life. He discovered a passion for music and joined the Pearl of Africa Children's Choir, traveling the world and sharing his story. His experience of living with chimpanzees became a symbol of human resilience and the surprising kindness of nature. Today, John's story is seen as a unique example of how closely humans and chimpanzees are connected. His survival and integration into a chimpanzee troop remind us of the deep intelligence and empathy of these primates. Why this story matters. John's experience highlights the blurred line between humans and our closest animal relatives. The chimpanzee's decision to care for an orphaned human child shows their capacity for empathy, protection, and even love. His story also underscores the importance of understanding and protecting chimpanzees, not just because of their biological connection to us, but because of their remarkable compassion. Pant hoots, used for excitement or to call group members. Grunts and barks indicate danger or signal dominance. In addition to vocalizations, they rely on facial expressions and gestures. An extended arm may request help, while a playful facial expression invites social interaction. Conclusion: chimpanzees are undoubtedly the smartest land animals, possessing a range of cognitive abilities that set them apart from other species. Their advanced tool use, problem-solving skills, complex communication, and emotional intelligence provide a window into the evolutionary origins of human cognition. By studying and protecting these incredible animals, we not only gain insights into our own evolutionary history, but also reaffirm our responsibility to ensure their survival. In a world where human activity increasingly threatens wildlife, the intelligence of the chimpanzee serves as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all living beings. If you haven't subscribed, liked, commented, or shared, then this is the right time. Take care of yourselves.